Well, the Niners did beat the Seahawks on Thursday night. But are they back in a certain conversation?
Let's talk football.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast, where sports are everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we're talking about the 49ers. After the Niners beat my Hawks on Thursday night, which was well earned, by the way, which I had the Niners picked, by the way. I had the 49ers picked. So, after that win, the question is, are the 49ers back in the Super Bowl contender conversation? Now, I'm going to be getting into that here in just a second. But before we get started, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's talk about those Niners. But the Niners. The simple answer to put into this is no. Because I know the Niners fans are going to get on me about this, saying, oh, the Niners are without few of the key pieces, that they're going to be coming back next week. However, you need to show up against one team in particular before we put you into that conversation. You need to beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. No matter how good you are, no matter how well you do in the regular season, whether it's held back because of injury or you make the playoffs, the true point of emphasis is you need to finish the job. And if you can't beat Kansas City, you are not going to finish the job. It is facts. The last two Super Bowl champions that have not been Kansas City have beaten them. The Rams did it when Jared Goff was their quarterback, won a Super Bowl, and then also, what was the other team? Oh, Tampa Bay. They beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl with Tom Brady. And this, I know people are gonna say that, oh, the Chiefs have not been looking good this year. Oh, the Niners, they've been held back because of injury, because of CMC not being in there. But you need to show up. NFL is about moments. It is about moments. You need to show up and prove to us that you can beat Kansas City. You need to prove it. Because until you do, we're going to have the same discussion. That Kyle Shanahan, he's been to a Super Bowl 3 times. How many Super Bowls does he have to show for it? 0. And on top of it, you had the most stacked roster last year, and you couldn't even make a Super Bowl win on that. Now, let's look at the wins. The wins that they've had have been against the Jets team that are frauds because they just fired Robert Saleh.
You've done a hell of a lousy job. You're late. I'm sorry. You're fired. Get out of here.
The Patriots that are sorry garbage without TB12. And the Seahawks that are still a rising up team, that they're still trying to figure it out. But their 3 losses have been to the Minnesota Vikings, who are still undefeated, which I actually talked about them a few weeks ago. I talked about them during a few bits of the beginning part of the NFL season. So, and I was actually right on that opinion. So I'll have that link down in the description if you guys want to go check that out. But then you also lost to the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. The fact of the matter is, you're still 1-2 against the division. You still need to beat Kansas City. And you're entering into your trickiest span of the season. You got to still play teams like Kansas City. You still got to play the Buffalo Bills. You still got to play the Detroit Lions. You still got to play Tampa Bay, the Seahawks again. And you still have to play the Dallas Cowboys, which you seem to have their number every time. But just because of the way you've looked recently, they might actually beat you, and I'm saying this, but then again, you might absolutely pound them because one thing Hawk and Niner fans have in common, we both hate the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
All right, but anyways, enough about that. The Niners, we've had the same discussion about them being in the Super Bowl conversation. We've had the same conversation year after year. And what has been the end result of every single year? The last 5 years, they've been to 4 NFC championship games, won 2 of them, and haven't had a Super Bowl to show for it. You lost to Kansas City twice in those Super Bowls. And I'll say this. If you beat Kansas City in week 7, I won't have this conversation again ever on my channel. But if you lose, then you're going to hear it from me because the fact is, Kansas City is the new Patriot. Boo! And if you can't beat Kansas City, you're not going to be in a Super Bowl conversation. Let's look at the other teams around the NFC that right now I have ahead of the 49ers. I got the Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions, the teams like the Commanders, maybe, if they beat the Baltimore Ravens, which you failed to do last year on Christmas. And then also teams maybe like the Eagles, we still need to wait and see what can come from them. And then also maybe the Atlanta Falcons, and then also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you need to show up against Kansas City before we get into this conversation because you need to show up. And if you beat them, I'll stop talking about this conversation on my channel. I'll stop talking about it. But if you lose, then I'm going to get off on y'all because you should beat Kansas City. And if you don't, you're nowhere near a Super Bowl. I'm sorry, but it's a fact, San Francisco. Well, let me know in the comments what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you guys think that the 49ers are in the Super Bowl contender conversation? Let me know why or why not down in the comment section below. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.